Hello everyone, my name is Balcom Thái Nguyen, and today I'll be presenting a deep strategic analysis of Dropbox Incorporated, tracing its journey from a disruptive startup to the major public company it is today. We're going to analyze the core strategic tensions that define Dropbox. We explore its evolution from a company that embraced massive risk from massive rewards to one that now prioritizes stability. We examine this shift through four distinct but interconnected frameworks. First, the risk-return trade-off. Second, the theory of technology diffusion. Third, its recent move to corporate venture capital. And finally, how these factors culminate in the company's current valuation. The central theme of this analysis is drop-off fundamental strategic shift. As a startup, its business model combines high risk with the potential of substantial returns, aiming for the kind of massive success that attracts venture capital. Today, as a public company, its priority has inverted. It now needs to stay away from risks that could endanger its survival and instead focuses on protecting stakeholder investments. The company has adopted what can be described as a survival approach, with a frank acknowledgement that its high growth, market disrupting era has properly come to an end. To understand this shift, we have to appreciate the incredible risk Dropbox took early on. The risk return principle states that achieving higher return requires taking on a greater risk, and Dropbox is a perfect example. The startup faced major risks, including market uncertainty, technological challenges in building a scalable sync engine, and the constant threat of large competitor duplicating its concepts. However, the payoff for taking on this risk was immense. By successfully overcoming these major obstacles, the company achieved venture capital size market category leadership. Post-IPO, Dropbox's risk profile transformed entirely. Its strategy is now geared towards steady expansion through what are known as bolt-on services. Instead of betting on untested technologies, the company uses its acquisition strategy to buy established businesses in adjacent markets, like HelloSign for e-signatures and DocSend for document analytics. While these strategies protect stakeholder investment and have boost ARPU, it comes with a significant trade-off. It restricts the company from reaching its maximum market value potential because it avoids the revolutionary moonshot that could truly challenge competitors like Microsoft. This strategic pivot is also clearly visible through the lens of technology diffusion. According to Fred Rogers, the hardest part of spreading an innovation is crossing the chasm between visionary early adopters and the pragmatic early majority. Dropbox initial growth is a textbook case of success. Its core product was simple, elegant solution, and its innovators and early adopters were technology community and students who felt the pains of the file management most acutely. Dropbox masterstroke was its freemium model combined with a viral referral program. This turned its user base into a powerful marketing engine, allowing it to cross the chasm without a massive advertising budget. Ironically, that very success is the source of its current challenge. Its core technology has now shattered the market, reaching even the laggards. The company's present challenge is not in spreading its initial innovation, but in catalyzing a subsequent diffusion curve for its new, more intricate workflow tools. This indicates a major challenge in internal diffusion. The brand identity is so closely linked to the symbol file storage that it results in cognitive friction for users who struggle to receive it as a platform for e-signatures, document creation, and video capture. It must now persuade a user base that adopted it for simplicity to accept it as sophisticated multi-feature platform. Given this internal challenge, Dropbox is looking its eternally for its next wave of innovation. This brings us to corporate venture capital or CVC, where a large corporation invests in startups for both strategic and financial returns. In 2022, Dropbox launched Dropbox Ventures to invest in startups that are changing the future of work, particularly in AI and collaboration technologies. This project gives Dropbox a strategic vertical, allowing it to watch and learn from the cutting edge of each field without having to bear the full risk and cost of internal R&D. From a radical perspective, the founding of Dropbox Ventures can be seen in two ways. On one hand, its proactive and vital strategic decision can keep Dropbox in conversation about AI and the future of work. Conversely, it may be perceived as an implicit acknowledgement that most revolutionary advances within its domain could be occurring externally. For the CVC to be genuinely useful and not just innovation trader, it needs a clear way to bring the innovations of its portfolio companies back into the main business. Without this integration, it risks becoming a strategically an important task. All of these strategic choices are ultimately reflected in companies' valuation. A venture's value is fundamentally a story about its future. Net present value or NPV is a key tool for putting a number on that story by estimating future cash flows and bringing them back to today. As a private firm, Dropbox value skyrocketed to 10 billion US dollar, driven by story of hyper growth and disruption. However, since its IPO, its market cap has typically stayed at or below that peak, which shows that the public markets are telling the different, more suspicious story. These tensions is at the heart of Dropbox valuation. A Polish analyst could project growing cash flows, believing Dropbox can successfully convert its free users and increase average revenue per user by upselling services like HelloSign. A Paris analyst, however, would argue that its core product is now commodity and that competition from Microsoft and Google will relentlessly squeeze its margins. Crucially, the discount rate applied to Dropbox future cash flow is relatively high. This isn't due to operational instability but to immense competitive risk posed by some of the largest capitalized companies in the world, which increase the uncertainty of its future cash flow and thus depress its present value. In conclusion, Dropbox is a strategic crossroads, and its entire valuation depends on which future scenario seems more believable to investors. Is it a utility business facing a gradual decline, or is it a platform business that will successfully achieve its transformation goals? Its future success now depends less on its past innovation and more on its ability to execute its strategic shift away from basic storage. Ultimately, Dropbox net present value is a living number, a reflection of how well the market believes it can convince millions of users that a simple folder can and should do much more. Here are my references, and thank you for your listening.